today we're going to be reviewing shading by using this worksheet. Now, at the top, it's showing you value from the lightest to the darkest. This is nothing, so in these boxes there will be nothing. The first box is going to be the lightest, so your pencil is going to be the lightest pressure to the darkest, which is the heaviest pressure, pushing your pencil down harder. So shading, and we're going this way, you would just take your pencil and try to match this color above it, moving your pencil lightly. Now it's a little bit darker, so I want to push it a little harder. A little darker. And every time I move, my goal is to get that color above it. So I'm pushing harder down. And I may have to go a couple times because it's the darkest. So that is going to be shading going across. Cross hatching, we went over this. It's putting lines at least two different directions. A little harder, a little close together to make it a little bit darker. The more lines you have, the darker it's going to be. Okay, we're gonna skip stipple because it's little dots. It's really hard work and we don't have time for that. We're gonna move to scribble, just like it says. Obviously this is white. Light scribble. A little bit darker. One is pattern. Pattern like, let's see, we'll have to do. I'm just using a simple pattern of lines. Make sure it's use the simple line, the pattern, or maybe polka dots or circles. But this is what we're going to do because this worksheet is going to move us into our next sketchbook project, which is value using a shape. So we're going to connect the darkness to the darkest spots to the lightness of the lightest spots. So this is working us into the next sketchbook activity. Okay, we are going to work on value. Value is the lightness and darkness of an object. Now, most items when you are drawing them in still life, you're going to have some type of light. Now this orange, we're going to pretend it's a ball. You can see that the light is directly coming from this corner. This is where my light is coming from, the right corner. Therefore, you see the light, and then on the opposite side, you're going to see the shadow. So we are going to use this picture right here in front of us, and I'm going to show you how to use your pencil to create the lightness and darkness of the color. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so our orange, if you get your paper and your pencil. So obviously we have our shape. Again, I'm not really worried about the shape. So the light is going to be, I'm going to point an arrow coming from there, which then, if you see, creates your shadow. Now that light, kind of right where it goes down, I can see that's where the shadow begins. So kind of like we used with the bowl is the hatching. The shadow is going to be the darkest of your colors. So this, I need to make sure, is the darkest. Now to do that, I'm going to use my hatching in 2 different directions, vertical and horizontal. So that is the darkest tone I'm trying to get with my pencil. Now, this side of the orange is still dark. So using the hatching, and because this is a curved object, I'm going to kind of go more in a curved area. I don't want it to be as dark as the shadow. I want it to be the next shade up. Let's see if I can do this kind of. So that curve right there of the dark part of my. And as I work towards the light, I'm going to lighten up my pencil. And as I work towards that little tiny circle, I'm going to lighten up even more. So you can see, and I don't want to have that little circle there. You can see I use the lighter edge. And now lighter, how do we get lighter? If you push hard, it's going to become dark. So the pressure that you put on your pencil is how you're going to get from the darkest to the lightest. The harder you push, the darker. The lighter you push, the lightest. So using the worksheet that we worked on to create the different shades is going to be how you create your lightest, medium, darkest. Again, the shadow, because this is the far side of your light, is actually going to be the darkest. So I want to make sure that the edge of my orange is not darker than the shadow of my orange. Okay, so we are going to work on looking at our orange. I'm going to pull my paper away, and I'm going to zoom into the shape again, because I want you to use the skills that we've been practicing today in our sketchbook to create your light and your shadow.